of Hello My Garden, and I'm inside the greenhouse today. It's a balmy 81 degrees in here, and it's probably in the 50s outside. So I like to come in here and warm up a little bit. I wanted to bring to your attention some more catalogs that I have received or purchased since the last seed video. So Hi Mowing organic seeds came in the mail the other day, and they, strangely enough, they also have 47 new varieties, kind of just like the other two catalogs that I previously showed in the previous video. And then the other catalog I purchased at our Whole Foods is the Whole Seed catalog by the Baker Creek Seed Company. And this one is one of my favorite catalogs. It's huge and there's just so much in it. And if you're a fan of heirloom seeds, then this is the seed catalog that you really want to look at. Now they produce two different catalogs. They send a smaller one to their customers, but this big one you have to purchase. And for me, it's worth the purchase. I love this catalog. It's almost like a picture book that you keep on the the table by the in the living room for people to look at. I think some of the things that they did this year may be a little bit different is that there's a picture on every seed. Last year there was descriptions of the seeds on one side and then pictures of some of the seeds on the other side, and then there were some pages of pictures with some of them, and there's articles in it as well. So that's, I want to talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but I also wanted to let you know that I've also already made my first seed purchases. Now, I did not have that catalog yet till yesterday, but I did realize it was coming out because I checked on their website and I'd seen that it was coming out very soon. So and I knew the new seeds had been out and ready, so I went ahead and ordered some online. So I got, that was from the Baker Seed Company, and they're rareseeds.com, I believe it is the name of the website. Okay, so I bought Solar Flashback Calendula, and those are flowers, and I got some Kawano Brown Jelly Melon, and I've got butterfly milkweed. Yay, that's going to be for the monarch butterflies. And I already do have some of the milkweed out there. I also got a Melba European melon. It looks to be like a cantaloupe. And we've got lemon cucumbers. We've got perpetual spinach, a type of Swiss chard. And we've got some yarrow, the Colorado mix, and that's a nice native type of herb. And we've got the dark cucumbers. My understanding of the reading of these cucumbers is they tend to be a little bit smaller, and you can grow them in the greenhouse. So I believe we're gonna, if we have room in here, I'm gonna try to get a little bit of that started pretty soon. I've got some stinging nettle and another type of Swiss chard, and some German chamomile. So got a catalog from Dripworks advertisement, I guess, where you can send for the catalog if we want. I do already have one of the Dripworks catalogs, and we are planning on doing some drip irrigation because watering was very tough last year. We had a dry summer. We had to do watering every day, and it took a great deal of my time. Okay, so and they sent me a free gift, which was a Lemon Queen sunflowers. And we love our sunflowers, so that'll definitely go into the garden come springtime. So I wanted to show you my seeds. It's getting, and I know I'm going to order some more seeds. It's an addiction. I can't help it. I've got way more than I could ever plant. I might do a giveaway at some point as well. But let's look at a little bit more closely at some of these seed catalogs. Okay, so this is the High Mowing Organic Seeds. And I don't think I've actually ordered from their catalog before. I have purchased their seeds because these are the seeds that I find at my Whole Foods. They have a little rack there, and I've gotten carrots from them. I've gotten spinach from them. I think we've got our dinosaur kale as well from them. So their seeds are good. They're organic. I like the fact that they're organic. The interesting thing, the nice things about a lot of these catalogs is they give you more information. I think more and more as the years advance, there's more and more information going in these catalogs. This particular one explains the definitions of seeds. So they talk about what's an heirloom seed, what's an open pollinated seed, what's a hybrid seed. So the heirlooms are open pollinated varieties that either predate or are unaltered by the last 60 years of modern breeding work. So these varieties have been passed down from neighbor to neighbor or through families for generations and are prized for their unusual appearance, genetic diversity, and superior flavor. Okay, so that's one of the definitions. They also have the days to maturity as well, which is a very helpful information to have. Okay, so let's kind of look for some of the new varieties here. Looks like there's a dry bean, the CA Black Eye 46 cowpea, which is right there. I hope you can see that. And let's see, what else do we got new today? We've got lots of stuff. We got a Chiba green edamame, which is a soy bean. And let's see, they've got some information here about soil nutrition for the sweetest beets. If you like to grow beets, a little information there in that catalog. Talks about some of the minerals that you need to grow sweet beets, which would be boron, magnesium, potassium, and calcium. Let's see. There's a little small article on the future of organic seeds. So lots of good information in these catalogs. And most of these catalogs are free. So other than the whole seed catalog right there, that one is not free. Okay, we've got a new cabbage, Golden Acre cabbage, right there. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get myself out of the picture and give you a little bit more close-ups of these catalogs so you could see a little bit of what I'm looking at. Another thing I wanted to draw your attention to is the back of this catalog. Before I do that, I want to show you the back of this catalog has a planting chart, and that is really helpful. It gives you an idea of how long, when to direct sow, the spacing, when to plant out, when you start transplants. So a lot of good information in this catalog. Okay, so I'm going to stop the camera and give you just or get myself out of the picture and show you a little bit more close-ups of these catalogs. Okay, so here we are in our greenhouse with our seed catalogs, and I'm using this bucket as my table. The bucket holds my azomite, which is a rock dust that we use to condition our soil with. Okay, so first up is High Mowing Organic Seeds. That's a 2016 organic seed catalog. So of note is that all the seeds in here are 100% certified organic, and they are non-GMO project verified seeds. That's comforting to know. And they also appear to be celebrating 20 years in business. So, looking at the first page here, we're showing that they have the 47 new varieties, but they have some varieties that did not make the print catalog. And you can see those at their website, which is highmowingseeds.com/web only. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of go through quickly and focus on the new seeds, because I like to look at those when I get a new catalog. I like to focus on the new varieties and then spend a little bit more time later looking at all of the different varieties. So here we go. We've got beans. There's the cowpea that I mentioned earlier, and the Chiba Green edamame soybean, which I had mentioned earlier as well. And moving along, here's the beets. No new varieties there. We show broccoli and sprouting broccoli. Again, I'm not seeing new varieties here, but there's a lot of great choices. Brussels sprouts. We have a new cabbage. It's called the Golden Acre Cabbage, and the picture is right there. And we've got another new cabbage. It's called the Passat F1. And there's the image right there. Okay. We've got some Napa cabbages. Carrots. We are showing a Kupar F1 as a new variety. It's a hybrid, and I may be pronouncing that incorrectly. Forgive me if I am. There's the picture right there. And we're also showing a Starburst blend, which looks to be a blend of different types of carrots, different colors, which for those of you that may not have a lot of planting space, you may want to get that variety. And the interesting thing there is that the description doesn't actually give you what the actual varieties are, but it looks like a nice mix of colors there. We love growing carrots, and hopefully we'll do a video of our carrots a little bit later on in the season. We especially like growing winter carrots here in the South because they are much sweeter, and we've actually given up on growing carrots during the spring and summer because they just lack that taste. Okay, so we've got cauliflowers next. There's the new white Adana F1 cabbage, and it's said to have strong, vigorous plants with beautiful high-quality heads with a short harvest window. Celery and celeriac. Don't know how to pronounce that, so forgive me. We got chard. Not any new varieties noted there. Collards, corn. Again, not any new varieties noted. There's cucumbers. A lot of nice cucumbers. Eggplants. Fennel. A lot of varieties of fennel there. Okay, so we're showing some new varieties of garlic. There's a Zemo garlic, which is a large creamy white cloves with pink tinting and spicy flavor. It says that there's a high allicin content and medium heat, and that they're excellent raw. So those are probably something we would be interested in. We eat our garlic raw, and so we like the slightly more mild varieties. There's a Medici there. There's a Killarney Red, and these are the hard necks. The next page, I'm seeing the soft necks. There's a Lourdes Italian, which is new, and a Silver White, which is new. Interestingly as well, there is a chart here of different kinds of things that might interest you in selecting a type of variety for you, choosing the right variety of garlic for you. So kind of interesting there. Okay, so we've got greens and salad mixes. Nothing new there. Greens and Asian mustards. Nothing new, but lots of nice varieties. Microgreens. There's some new microgreens, the purple sango radish and the red acre cabbage. We love our microgreens. We love our sprouts. We will probably do videos on those later on in the season. Here's the sprouts. There's also some sprouting supplies. We've got some specialty greens. More greens. Some kale. Now kale is kind of the big thing right now. Everybody talks about kale. It's very nutritious. We especially like our lacinato kale or dinosaur kale. But there's some new varieties here that are of interest. There's a Nash's green kale over here. There's a cyber frill kale and a red ursa kale. Now that red ursa kale looks quite decorative. It looks pretty. These kales look pretty enough to grow in your front yard. And that's a nice thing about kale. They're very decorative as well as delicious and nutritious. So moving on to kohlrabi and leeks. There are lettuces. Not seeing new lettuces here, but there's a lot of varieties. Some baby leaf lettuces there. Nice images there. Melons, we've got some new melons. There's a First Kiss F1 cantaloupe. Says it's an exceptionally early melon with a consistently high quality of fruit. There's an orange sherbet F1 melon. Says it's extremely disease resistant. A nice little time flow here of their business. They started sowing their first seeds in 1995, and looks like in 2014 they became non-GMO project verified. That right there is quite reassuring. Their seeds are now third-party verified by the non-GMO project. Okay, pretty cool. Here is the ordering form. Like most folks probably don't use the ordering forms anymore. They order online, and I have to admit most of my ordering is online, but I do like to use these ordering forms still. I may be old school, I am old school, but there's a certain satisfaction of writing them down and using those old forms. Okay, so there's okra. There's some new onions. There's a Zoe F1 onion. It says it's a widely adapted sweet onion with excellent quality. There's a New York early onion, an early and dependable yellow onion. Some stories about some of their partner organizations. Some peas. I don't see new peas. Peppers. There is a new pepper here. There's the Abe F1. It's said to be a jumbo-sized blocky gold fruits on widely adapted plants. That might be something we may grow. We love our bell peppers. We grow a lot of peppers. We've read that the capsaicin in peppers and the colors and the antioxidants in peppers are very good for you, so we like to grow our peppers. We also dehydrate them to use later in the year. Okay, so there's a lively Italian orange pepper and a lively Italian yellow pepper. And there's also a new poblano there, a Baston F1 poblano. Potatoes. I love my tubers. We have a new red mid-season potato there. It's called an Amarosa right there. It says it's a gorgeous burgundy skin with an intensely dark red flesh, high in rich in antioxidants. Sounds really good. Okay, some more potatoes. Moving on to the pumpkins now. And now the radishes. There's a new radish, the d'Avignon. It's a traditional French breakfast radish with rose pink roots and a mild flavor. There's another radish, the Schwarzer Runder radish. It's a black radish. It has a jet black skin with white flesh. That looks quite interesting. Does it say if it's a sharp taste? It doesn't say whether it's wild or sharp. It says similar to daikon. It may be kind of... Oh no, I moved down. It's a spicy flavor, it says. Okay. Spinaches, we have an Escalade F1 that's new. There's an Abundant Bloomsdale that's new. A new summer squash, the Yellowfin F1. It says it's the first yellow organic zucchini with the PM resistance. Powdery mildew resistance. Interesting. Okay, moving on. Winter squashes. I'm not seeing any varieties there. Oh, on this page we're showing some. We've got a new bush delicata squash, a new Festival F1, and moving on to tomatoes. There's a Skyway 687 F1. It says it's their first heat set field tomato. So it seems to be well adapted to organic conditions in the southeast U.S., setting fruit well over 90 degrees. So that might be something we can try here. We do get very hot in the summertime in North Carolina. Okay. Moving on. Another new one there called the Pink Boar. It's a wine-shaped wine colored fruit, with metallic green striping on vigorous vines. Right there, looks very attractive. There's also a new cherry. It's called Bartelli F1. It says it's delicious, disease-resistant cherries for unheated greenhouses and high tunnels. Okay. That looks like to be it with the new cherry. Oh, there's another. Oh, this is rootstock. It's a Ford Amino F1 rootstock. I guess for grafting. I haven't gotten into the grafting of tomatoes yet, but we don't graft yet. Okay, so they've got some greenhouse supplies and some turnips, watermelons. Let's see, we've got a new Tom F1 watermelon. It's a smaller early melon, it says. And this is not new, but it's interesting. I was not aware that they had a seedless melon in this catalog. So it's a Triple Crown F1 seedless melon. I might like to try that. Okay. On to the herbs. We love our herbs. We like to grow teas. So here there's a Greek basil and a Lydia basil. And forgive me again, I do not know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. Lots of herbs. Several different types of varieties of parsley. And flowers. We like to make sure that our garden has flowers in it to feed the bees, and for the beauty, and for the butterflies, and the hummingbirds. So lots of flower varieties. There's several new ones. There's a Lavatera, pink Lavatera. There is a Pierrot poppy and a Planète Rouge du Douro poppy. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Forgive me. That looks like a beautiful poppy. Okay, and some sunflowers. We do like our sunflowers. There's a Hella Sonnenblume, and there's also a new beeline pollinator mix here. It looks like just a packet of various varieties of seeds that are of benefit to bees and butterflies and other pollinators. Looks like they also have some clothing that they sell. And there's some cover crops. You know, we personally don't use cover crops. Not that we do believe that they are of great benefit for those that use them. We just have a no-till policy here, at least at this time. And so we're not using them currently, but they're of great benefit. And they have some gift box collections and the planting chart that I had mentioned earlier. So that about sums up our quick review of the 2016 High Mowing Organic Seed Catalog. And we're going to move on to the whole seed catalog from the Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. Okay, so put this one aside. Actually, I'm going to try to put it underneath. I don't know if that's going to help make it easier for you to see these pages. All right. And this is my favorite catalog, but I'm going to go through it pretty quickly just because it is so big and I just don't have the time to go page by page, and that would be a very long video if I did. So we're just going to kind of thumb through it pretty quick. There's a lot of articles in here. They actually hold an heirloom fair as well, which I've never been able to go to yet. I really would like to at some point in the future. It looks like this coming year it's going to be September 6th, 7th, and 8th in Santa Rosa, California. I really would like to go. Okay, so I've got an article about GMOs, giant vegetables. There's some big vegetables there. Some colors in vegetables. Okay. Some articles about the food culture. Okay. Let's see. There's pictures and letters from customers. A lot of articles here. Some recipes are in this catalog too, if that's something that you're interested in. There's a salsa morada recipe. Looks tasty. Okay. Let's move on to some of the seeds here. But there is a lot of articles. And the nice thing about them is they seem to go out to other countries and try to find and bring back interesting heirloom varieties, and that's what excites me so much about this catalog. They have some live plants too, and this is where I purchased my yacon from last year. And there it is, and I'm going to be putting up my yacon harvest video very soon. I'm working on editing that right now. Okay, so here are the sweet potatoes. And I have already pre-ordered my sweet potatoes for the spring. Some from this catalog or this company, and some from the Sand Hill Preservation Center company. So there's some Okinawans and some Molokai purples. And they actually have a rare sweet potato collection, which I didn't order, but I think I'm going to go back and order real quick before it sells out. Don't know if it does sell out, but I want to, because it says that some of the varieties they may not be in this catalog, so that's kind of exciting. Okay. We got a lot of varieties of things. There's just this whole page is just amaranth, Asian beans, all kinds of beans. Look at just pages of beans. Runner beans. So several pages of just beans. That is wonderful to look through and thumb through on a cool winter's evening. Sipping some tea that you grew from your garden. Okay. So we've got beets, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflowers, pretty varieties of cauliflowers, carrots. Here's a Pusa Asita black carrot. I did grow some of this year. I haven't harvested yet. Hopefully it's growing nice in the garden. I am excited to see how that turns out. There's corns. Cowpeas, lots of cowpeas. Cucumbers. We love our cucumbers. We eat them fresh, and we also blend them in our green drinks. A lot of pages of cucumbers. There's a new one right there, the Kish White cucumber. It says, quite possibly the earliest documented Amish cucumber variety in Pennsylvania. Eggplants. Pages of eggplants. Okay, there's even an eggplant recipe. More eggplants. some endive and escarole, and some interesting fruits and berries. South American solanum fruit. Tropical fruit. For those of you that are lucky enough to grow tropical plants year-round in the outside, there's some different varieties there. There's papaya. I wish I could grow papaya and bananas. Maybe someday. Okay. Some gourds. A cute article on a gourd artist. Cover crops. Salad greens. They've got their kales here too. A lot of varieties. Radishes. Melons. Lots of melons. Some okra. Some jelly melons. This is one that I ordered, which I mentioned earlier. I ordered the Kawano melon. I think it's a Kawano Run that I got. Yeah, it's a new one, Kawano Run. Okay, lots of okra. Look at that. Onions. Peas. And peppers. Lots of great peppers. Oh, there's a new Korean dark green pepper right there. It says it's an heirloom from Korea. 2-foot tall plants. It is very spicy and hot. And this delicious pepper is great for really authentic kimchi and other Korean dishes. That might be something we want to try. Sweet peppers. Huh. There's a Korbachi sweet pepper. It's a 10-inch fruit that are curved and twisted and very slender. They're good for pickling and frying. Okay. Radishes. A lot of pretty radishes. Look at that. There's a Pusa galabi, which is a beautiful pink radish, looks like from this picture, and a Pusa jumani, which looks like a beautiful purple radish. Spinach. Article on growing squash and seed saving. Summer squashes. Pumpkins. I'm going to speed it up here. This is a big catalog, so taking a long time to go through. Here's some Swiss chard or chard. Tomatillos, tomatoes, lots and lots of tomatoes. Oh, interesting here. There's a nutritional study on tomatoes where they give you the Brix content of some of these varieties, the lycopene, the potassium, the acidity, the vitamin A, the vitamin C, and even the chlorophyll in the green one, the green tomatoes. That right there is pretty interesting. Okay. More tomatoes. They just have lots and lots of tomatoes. Something to spend a little bit of time on later on. A black tomato. Beautiful tomatoes. They actually list their seeds in order of color, which is nice. Turnips, watermelons. Some delicious looking watermelons. And the herbs. They've got a lot of different varieties of herbs. So I've already ordered a lot of their herbs, and I do plan on ordering more. article of a milkweed and the butterflies. That's good to see. Okay, moving on now to their flowers. One thing I really like to give kudos to them for is that they mention in their catalog on the flowers, they indicate which flowers are edible. So like this one, it's a Eubutilon, forgive me for pronunciation, a flowering maple, and it says edible. So because we like to have our plants serve a purpose, either they're for the bees, or they're for the butterflies or the hummingbirds, or they're for us to eat. So the fact that they let us know, that Baker Seed lets us know what flowers are edible, is of great interest to us. We find that to be valuable information. And we're definitely going to plant some edible flowers. A lot of flowers. Just going to finish thumbing through this real quick and nasturtiums there, those are edible. And a popular flower. This catalog is so heavy it's trying to fall off the bucket here. Okay, there's some poppies. Beautiful poppies. Look at that one. I've never even seen a poppy that looked like that. And the sunflowers. A lot of beautiful sunflowers. Look at that one. Okay, sweet peas, yarrow, dahlias. Okay, so, and they have an order form too, which I have used. Okay, and they have recipes. I have a number of recipes in the back. And that about sums up this year's 2016 the whole seed catalog from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. And I hope you enjoyed this little review of the two catalogs, and as I get more I will also show them to you. Please let me know in the comment section if you enjoy this, and if you want more detail, I can go slower and do one catalog at a time, or if you want less detail, or if you don't enjoy seeing the catalogs. But I really love going through these seed catalogs, and I want to share them with you. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.